Hi, I'm Cece, and this is my story. Before I begin, don't forget to like and subscribe. And hey, new MSA merch alert! Our latest bottles and notebooks are out now. Grab them via the link in the description and upgrade your gear. I was born in Paris, the city of love. Love was everywhere. In the heart-shaped cakes in the bakeries, in the balloons all the street merchants sold under the Eiffel Tower, and in the random rounds of applause whenever someone proposed publicly, which happened like 100 times a day. Yeah, love was everywhere, except our house. My earliest memories are of my parents fighting over the tiniest things, and of Lola, my sister who was 7 years older, distracting me. I got you new furniture for your dollhouse. Let's rearrange it in my room. Why are Mom and Dad yelling? Are they gonna be okay? Of course they'll be okay. Parents fight. This is normal. Don't worry. It didn't feel normal. It felt like my whole world was going to crumble down. And the only stable thing around me was Lola. When our parents eventually divorced, Mom moved to Italy to become an opera singer, and Dad soon realized his mistake and spiraled. He locked himself up in their room, and we rarely saw him. From that moment onwards, Lola became my unofficial parent. You cannot eat ice cream before dinner! You're not my real mom! Why did you fail math? I spent my whole week tutoring you! You're not my real mom! It's fair to say, I drove Lola crazy. She was forced to become my mother at a very young age, and I could be a brat. Also, I kinda ruined her plans for the future and her relationship with her very serious boyfriend, Jordan. Jordan and Lola had planned to go away to college together. Seeing that Lola had to work and take care of me since our dad was useless, Jordan left her and went off to college on his own.
I'm sorry, Lola. There isn't a place for both me and Cece in your life. This is it for us.
I felt guilty that Lola had lost both her boyfriend and her dreams, so I no longer wanted to give her a hard time. I started paying attention in class, helping her around the house, and even preparing her favorite meals and desserts. Ugh, there is no love like sisterly love, Cece. Never forget that. We only have each other in this life. One day, as I was working at my part-time cashier job in a coffee shop, I noticed a very rich-looking guy staring at me. I could feel his gaze without even lifting my head. Naturally, I decided to stare back until he got uncomfortable and broke eye contact. But he was a tough opponent. Give it up, creep. Didn't your mommy teach you it's rude to stare at people? But he still didn't flinch. He insisted on being in the line I was serving, even though the other one was empty.
One Americano, please.
Will that be all?
How about your number on the side?
I just stood there with a poker face until he finally gave up and said,
Yes, that will be all.
One Americano coming up. Name?
Ben.
That'll be €4, Ben. He gave me 100 and told me to keep the change with a wink. Nice try, jerk. If you think you can buy my number, you're sadly mistaken. Take your stupid money.
I'm just a generous tipper, girl. But I will get your number eventually. And by the way, your eyes are gorgeous.
And then he left. I wish I had shoved that change in his stupid face. Oh well. I could just use it to buy Lola something nice. This rich jerk kept coming back every day, and I'd always notice he had bodyguards waiting outside the shop for him. One day he came in when the place was empty.
I won't leave until you give me your number.
Then I hope you brought a change of clothes and a toothbrush.
You know, Cece, not to be a self-centered jerk, but I'm a great catch.
If you're so great, why are you so desperate to get my number?
Determined is a better term. I enjoy a hard challenge, and I just can't get you out of my head.
Then get a new head.
I would, but I have great hair.
You're not getting my number, weirdo.
We'll see.
For the next few weeks, he showed up with extravagant gifts, like a full mariachi band or roses that filled up the stores and customers couldn't get in. My boss finally snapped and told me to handle the situation or I was out. Of course, I couldn't get fired. I had to help Lola with the household expenses. So I caved and gave him my number. I'd just block him later. When I told my coworkers what happened, they all burst out laughing and started showing me his pictures on the internet. Turns out, he wasn't just a rich kid, but a famous actor as well. Apparently, he had bought the staff's silence because he didn't want me to go out with him simply for being famous. To my surprise, he wasn't that big of a jerk either. He was crazy romantic, like crazy romantic. One day, I mentioned that I was craving pizza, so he insisted on going to Napoli for lunch. I thought he managed to get last-minute tickets on a plane to Italy, but turns out we were going with his private jet.
You know, Cece, when I first met you and realized that you didn't know who I was, I felt truly alive. I had a rare opportunity to introduce myself however I liked to someone who didn't already have some opinions about me.
Well, for future reference, you didn't do a great job at it. You came off as a creep.
Yeah, you made that very clear. Don't worry.
He was sweet, charming, and attentive, and I found myself falling for him. I was hesitant to bring